Let's get into the game. This is hype. This is Newbie versus Lucky Future. Russia versus China. Happy versus 1-2-0. The two best undeads on the planet here in the Huya Super League quarter-final. We start on Last Refuge. Happy in the red. Again, the overlay is a little wrong, but whatever. Happy from top to bottom. 1-2-0 for Newbie from bottom to top. And my stream is lagging. There we go.
Infected Shroom, thank you very much for the 8-month resub.
Nice.
Especially 1-2-0 has been experimenting with different builds in this matchup quite liberally these last couple of months, including Lich first, including Dreadlord first, including fast expansions. But here, we see him playing standard, like was the case on the first map against TBC yesterday. Happy, of course, is playing a standard build that should come as no surprise. So both starting off with a Ted Fiend build. My stream is going absolutely ham.
Okay, mine's fine for now. Yeah, we've seen 1-2-0 yesterday on Twisted. Playing a normal build. That was the only map, really, where he played a normal build. On Amazonia, the Fire Lord, Remo.
It was a funny game.
It was such a funny game. No Dreadlord.
Plus 15 agi, dude. Do you remember?
Yeah,
Plus 15 agi.
Oh, pretty good. So, DK Ted Fiends. And did you see the picks and bans for the two players?
No.
Okay, so I would love to know what maps are relevant in this series. 1-0, okay, showing off a little very early on, blocking with the Acolyte for a little bit. 1-0, very aggressive. It's all about this High Priest now.
Yeah, 1-2-0 already playing slightly off meta. Normally it's both players going for their High Priest and so sharing the map. But 1-2-0 says, no, gonna harass you. I'm not gonna let you do what you want. And it's gonna quickly tech behind that. These two players, by the way, met at WGL in a best of 5 where it was a very close 3-2 victory in favor of Happy. But the one thing that really stood out to me was 1-2-0, the two maps he won was always with a 2-base advantage. He could not win without an economical edge. One time, by the way, before WGL, I don't remember where they met, maybe CC Masters or something.
Yeah.
1-2-0 on this map played a really cool style with heavy harassment, kind of like he's doing right here, and then a Naga second.
Yes.
So that should be in Happy's mind as well. Oh, surrounds the DK with the skeletons as 1-2-0 try to steal something right there.
Here we go. You're a little ahead of me, but there is the skeleton surround. Happy is just so good. This has to be the TP. This is 2 more coils for Happy. Yes, his DK is losing quite a bit of HP, but he's killing the Acolyte as well. And losing a TP early in Undead Mirror is... This is just so good.
Happy had like 500 milliseconds to close that surround. Goddamn.
By the way, since Todd is asking what the score is between them, in series, it's 3-0 for Happy. 1-2-0 has never beaten Happy in a best of 1, best of 3, best of 5.
But has brought him closer to the edge than any other undead in a long time.
That is absolutely correct. Like there's no match for Happy in another Undead Mirror. Last Refuge, by the way, is 1-2-0's best map. That's a 66% win rate for 1-2-0. And he continues to be aggressive, still says Murloc. He is, like, if he's getting surrounded here again, that game is over. Still only 1/3 of a level for the Chinese.
Yeah, it's all about gathering experience here early. The level 2 level up is the big one. I think Happy is 1 creep away now. 1-2-0 is a lot further away. Happy gets the last hit right there. And with that, he gets the level 2.
Coils up, yeah. Oh my. This is quite a brutal early game. 1-2-0 thought, okay, Happy, I know you're really, really good in the late game with your control and your micro, so I need an advantage. Oh my! He is picking a play off of Happy's playbook with the Naga second.
What? No, it was 1-2-0 playing this when they met before, online. Oh. This is where 1-2-0 got the one map win when they played online. Or was it 2 map wins?
Shoot.
No.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. On this very map. And now he is trapping the DK. Can he outdamage him? Happy with the TP. Fiend shots arriving, but not enough. So both TPs traded. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was Yule Cup 2, by the way. Not CC Masters.
I think you're right. Yeah, Naga early on tier 2, always really, really strong. Her weakness comes later, when obviously she can't get healed with the coil, and also does not provide silence. However, in the late game with Nova and Fog Lightning can also be pretty respectable nuke damage. Happy, oh my god, did you see that? Ritual Dagger, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow. I just refreshed to catch up with you, since you were a little ahead. Now we should be in sync again. Ritual Dagger, yeah. On Happy's side, and he's stealing the Magi away from 1-0.
Okay, the Magi dies for me right now.
Okay, you are now a little behind. Maybe you should refresh as well. 1-0, not investing the gold into the dagger. And statues are quite far away, so he has to take damage on other units. Has to play a lot more careful than Happy is, who is positioning himself very aggressively on the map. Now the statue is out.
Merchant creeps in the middle, always very valuable. The big consumables for the big fights, very impactful. Big mana, the best one. But big invul and heal pot also good. In my opinion, also Scroll the Beast. Happy, however, sells it most of the time. Tier 3 is approaching. Pretty fast techs on both sides. I'm surprised 1-0 isn't trying to apply more pressure with his Naga.
Yeah, that was just this one fight.
Yeah, he just forced the TP. He didn't even find any kills.
Yeah.
And that's not exactly an advantage because he doesn't have a TP himself either anymore.
That was a big commitment for just this TP. Happy respects 1-0's forces. Creeps his laboratory, lures out the creeps. Gives the bottom right, or the rest of the bottom right, to 1-0. Tier 3 is approaching, and I wonder, what's the meta between the two? Is it Destroyers? Is it Banshees?
Happy pretty much always plays Banshees. 1-0 against TBC, he played very few Banshees, right? He mostly played Expansion and lots of Destroyers and Fiends with upgrades. Book of the Dead. Happy's not selling it? Really?
Huh.
That surprises me.
Does he not know about...
Oh my god, that Naga inventory. Holy Jesus.
I see it now as well. Plus 15 and double Gloves of Haste. Imagine this on a Lich. I mean, Naga has very high damage as well. Maybe it's even better on the Naga than on the Lich, if the Orb of Corruption comes into play with a third hero.
Yeah, it's good for either. Also finds a heal pot for the Naga, which is really good. Because again, can't heal her with the coils. Both players now moving towards the red camps.
It's a super Naga. That's true, Todd. What's the damage on the Frost Arrow?
5, 10, 15.
5, 10, 15, okay. And Fog Lightning, I guess, makes more sense. Cloak of Flames for an undead, not the greatest, will most likely be sold, but we thought that about the Book of the Dead as well.
I actually like the cloak, because the DK is always going to be standing in the Fiends, and normally focusing DK is a mistake, because you can't kill him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
Normally you always want to go for the Fiends first. However, if there's a Naga on the enemy side, maybe it's a better choice to attack the Naga, so that's going to be an important decision for Happy to make once it comes to the late game fights, which should be soon approaching.
Happy went to the shop, invested some gold. Thank you, Mouse, for the 3313 sub. 33 times where we said that it's very enjoyable to pronounce your nickname. Less than three right back. Oh, Destroyer and Snared. Could be a big pickup for Happy, who doesn't have Web yet.
Happy only with 4 Fiends, and not even the Destroyers. Yeah. The damage here on the Russian side certainly lower, and Happy loses the first Fiend there to the Fog Lightning. That does not bode well for this fight. Happy, normally a player who doesn't like to back up, but might be forced to from this position.
I thought for a second he runs into the creeps with that one Fiend, but no. Did 1-0 rebuy the TP? Oh, Fog Lightning. What a coil on this Fiend. Oh my god. Destroyer falls. Now the Fiend eventually as well. But here's the Book of the Dead. There's another Destroyer. Happy was waiting patiently, but 1-0 is forced to move another one. This means no statue on the ground, no regen, and still Skeleton Archers up. The Dispel is not really great, but Happy is losing every single Fiend so far.
They're gonna back up here, both players having lost a little bit. Dude, Happy killed the Destroyer, summoned the Book of the Dead, and it was an instant 3-way split on the skeletons. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Maybe he has, like, a bullet time mode in Warcraft.
Like
Sometimes it feels like it. Yeah.
Level 4 now on the Naga. That's actually a really nice level up. Level 2 Cold Arrow is actually pretty damn strong. It's so much slow. But Naga needs to be careful. She was forced to use that heal pod earlier, so 1-0 definitely needs an invul. Happy at 49 supply. 1-0. Looks like he has even more. Is he an upkeep? It looks like he is. I'm surprised Happy's going for a Destroyer. Like, going Destroyer for 1-0 makes sense against the Silence. But why does Happy have a Destroyer? Oh my god, 1-0's inventory. The Lich and the Naga are stacked, dude.
Both are super pimped indeed. Yeah, that's a so big damage advantage for the Chinese. Happy, what's he finding in the north? One of the biggest creep spots apart from the red.
This is not looking too bad for 1-0 at all. Got the level 4 DK, which is also a nice level up. Dude, Scourge Bone Chimes again. I think this is the 4th time across 2 days that Happy is finding the Scourge Bone Chimes. Sells it, of course.
Yeah, without Ghouls and Abominations, not really viable. No Temple of the Damned. Of course, since Happy has a Destroyer, Curse doesn't really do too much.
Oh, that sentry is so good for 1-0. Sees the army coming in.
Yeah, but
he's at the Creepjack camp, where it feels as you always get Creepjack when you're down there. But
yeah, it's like you putting up signs like Creepjack me here. But Happy's not finding him. Now he goes to that position. So can 1-0 move out of that? He has a TP. Talisman of Evasion, also pretty decent. Destroyer wept immediately. Dispel on the skeletons as well. But 1-0 seemingly willing to fight. Happy going for the DK right away, trying to reposition now the TP. So anyway, oh, Happy lost the Destroyer.
Yeah, but killed a Fiend. So Fiend plus TP traded for a Destroyer. Favorable trade for Happy. 1-0 on Happy's Fiends, by the way. Upgrades also very important in the mirror match. But 1-0 way more supply. 13 supply lead now.
So what can he do with it? Needs to close out this game soon, otherwise the Naga will fall off and the Dark Ranger will become better and better. Call to Safer, Destroyer out of that fight with that web. Dark Ranger down to 50%. Silence on the DK only, not on the Lich, but okay. Happy is losing another Fiend right here. Oh, eats it. So no experience.
But it feels like Happy's against the ropes. He certainly has a smaller army right now. He can't really fight. There's one creep camp left in the top left, as is typical. Normally the turtle camp's always the last camps remaining.
It's really risky to go for. 1-0 now containing Happy. Could expand even. Oh, another nice Nova Fog Lightning nuke.
And that's also the cool thing about this hero combo. In Undead Mirror, you always have this kill threshold of Nova in mind. But Nova plus Fog Lightning, that's a much higher kill threshold.
Yes. Same kind of goes for Carrion Swarm or, of course, my beloved spell, Chain Lightning. 1-0 now expanding. This is kind of the right choice. He has the supply lead. He has the map control. Fights into this choke now, aiming for that Lich. If you learned... Oh my god! Was that an execution? I was about to say, if you learned something from Happy versus Foggy games, then it's... You can't kill Happy's Lich, and then... Boom! The Necromancer just kills it. Jesus Christ, Fog Lightning is a pretty good spell high level.
that Naga looking really good even in the late game, but I have to question Happy's late game unit choice. Why Destroyers and why no Banshees? Destroyers certainly have an easier transition. You only need the upgrade and that's it. Don't need the Banshee house plus adept training. But what did they do? They did like nothing.
That is correct. I mean, it prevented Banshees on 1-0 side, but apart from that, I totally agree.
Yeah, 1-0 remains seemingly the only undead who can really put up a fight against Happy. And looking so good here. It's so weird. Like, Happy can only be challenged in mirror by 1-0.
Yeah.
But 1-0 seemingly has trouble with every undead in the world.
Correct. Like yesterday, TBC. Yeah, it's really weird, this dynamic in Undead Mirror. But as I mentioned during the game, this was the map for 1-0. It feels like he almost always wins this.
Yeah.
This is like he has now. It's now 1-3 on Last Refuge. On pretty much every other map except Amazonia, Happy has the lead. 1-0's pick would be Amazonia, but now first we go on to CH, where Happy has a 2-0 score against the Necromancer. By the way, since so many people are mentioning delete, talking about the Lich, is there some Matt Hardy fans in chat talking about deletion? That's something. Wrestling? Yeah, that is wrestling indeed. That's something I guess you would enjoy. That's so silly on a nice silly level, like not completely trash, but fun wrestling level, fun humor level. I guess you would enjoy. I will paste you a link.
Yeah. I think I would enjoy some of them. Like, for example, Macho Man Randy Savage. That guy is brilliant.
Oh, the cream rises to the top.
What's his wife called again?
Elizabeth. I think it's time later to enjoy some highlight clips of Macho Man Randy. And of course, Big Pump Scott Steiner with the math. That's also something you enjoy.
Yep.
And of course, the missile assault and all the ants from Chikara.
That was the most I had laughed.
You broke down on that flight.
First time 2014 when we went to Yinchuan, we had the layover in, I think it was Beijing or something.
Yeah. And
Neo told me about the Japanese wrestling scene, including this wrestling trio or something like that between Rescue Assault and Arctic Rescue and Missile Assault and stuff.
What was the third one?
That was
long time ago.
Very, very, very funny day.
Yeah, I'm a man of culture. Definitely.
So we have Happy in the game already. 1-0. Taking a moment.
Yeah. I'm leaving you for a second to get more water. Be right back.
Get a coffee as well, buddy. So 1-0 now, one step away to making it to the top 4 would be the first time finally him overcoming Happy, who seemingly has had his number for the last couple of months, and encounters between the two. Focus, Infi, and Sock already waiting in the top 4 in the semifinals. 2 humans, 1 orc, and 1 undead. We know that much for sure. Which undead is it gonna be? One of the 2 greats. Happy 1-0. But yeah, this looked quite convincing. This looked like really, really good. Happy perhaps looking for a fight when he wasn't quite ready yet. He was fighting with 1 fiend less right there. And I'm really not sure that destroyers are the right idea. Like, also, Happy, he didn't even fight with destroyers with mana, did he? He just morphed 1 destroyer. And of course, 1 destroyer only has no mana. So it's not like you're fighting with a big damage spike with only 1 destroyer, which could be a reason. No, it was just a single utility destroyer, which had literally nothing to dispel. Well, aside from a few skeletons, perhaps, from the Rod of Necromancy. But okay, we'll see how it goes. Happy now on map 2 will, at the very least, be able to creep up more in the early game. LR 1-0 was focusing very heavily on early harass, slowing down Happy's creeping. And that makes a lot of sense with that strategy, because the lower hero levels are, the better a Naga usually is. As she is quite weak on tier 2 early, low HP. And if everything else is also weak, she can make use of the slow and look for early kills. Wasn't quite able to do that. Happy saved all of his units, but the TP was forced. Thanks to that Naga. I guess one thing we do have to mention as well, that inventory for 1-0 was insane. He had 2 stacked damage dealers between the Lich and the Naga, which is very possible to acquire on LR, but on other maps with fewer right-click damage items, like Concealed, that is going to be much harder to pull off. Neo's going to be back in a moment, so
I'm back.
we're going to load into the game here in just a second. We haven't missed anything yet. Heroes haven't even popped out yet.
Yeah, is this the first time that 1-0 is defeating Happy? Historical moment right here. Thank you, Scription, for the 3-month resub. Remo, check your Discord after stream.
I didn't get a PM. I got a PM from Xander, but you're not Xander, are you?
Maybe he will send you something in a bit.
All right. I'm excited. So, we're starting off with a Ted Fiend build once again. 1-0 is no longer messing around. I think when they met in their 3rd place match for... Was it CC Masters? They met in some 3rd place match.
Wait a second.
And their 1-0 tried to play Dreadlord.
It was CC Masters.
He noticed, alright, that guy is cheese-proof. This is not gonna work. So ever since then, seems to be playing more standard.
Yeah.
And
Chat is talking a little about Rising Star Cup at the moment. Today is going to be cast by Kaldor. You can still sign up though. Back to warcraft.com/Rising Star. Happy, I guess, will participate as well. Will he make it 6 time, chat? We'll see about
did you
that.
count on your fingers when you did that?
No, I can count in my head to 6.
How high? To 6. Okay.
To 6 at least.
Oh, next week's going to be tough for you.
I have a week to practice though.
So, mirrored creep route. There is one perfect creep route or best creep route on this map, which is the Ogre into the green, into the Merchant, into the next green, and that's level 3. No better way of doing it. So, if you don't do it, you fall behind. If you harass, you may fall behind. So, the safest play to go for is to exactly do that creep route, which I first saw from Happy. I don't know who exactly came up with that. But Happy has been playing it for a long time, of course. Happy, he finds a build, he likes a build, he plays the build. Oh, but guess what? 1-0 once again breaks away from the standard build and is going to go to try to harass here at the Merchant. Didn't think this was going to happen. Big last hit. Who got it?
I guess Happy?
I don't think so. 1-0 has more experience, if I see that right. That's a big deal. Level 4 creeps give a lot of experience.
1-0 is blue. Yeah, sorry. I'm still confused by the overlay.
Yeah, 1-0 got it. But Happy got the better items. He got Slippers and Claws. Both very nice. Versus Cloak and Ring. Alright, and this is normally not what an Undead Mirror looks like. Normally it's just a creeping to level 3. As the observer shows, this green camp plus the Merchant, that is the level 3.
It's very telling that 1-0 is trying to be aggressive early on and trying to disrupt Happy's game early on. This is the second.
Oh, it's going Naga again. Wow, even on this map.
Once again, you're ahead of me. I have to refresh.
No, I didn't see it yet. I was just...
Oh, Fortune Teller.
Yeah. And that's why he's playing so aggressively. The Naga is always stronger the lower hero levels are. Especially on level 1. Oh, Ogre Lords around. Doesn't quite work. And that's also a really nice thing with the Naga. Of course, you get her much earlier than the Lich. So you can try something like that earlier. Happy's going to scout for it. This is going to be a massive last hit.
Yeah. 1-0 needs to get this by Naga and Coil. Happy's would be level 3. So big. Happy's usually great at that, but ping affects it, and 1-0 got it, right? Oh,
Yeah, 1-0 got it.
Yeah.
But the Naga's surrounded! 2 units around with a DK and the skeleton. Cloak transferred though. Nice play by 1-0.
that was missing by Elegant earlier on map 1, but 1-0 has the presence of mind.
Oh, he TPs for the level 1 Naga, really?
I guess the DK is super low as well. Could have run away, maybe.
That was very important for 1-0 getting the item and the last hit. Happy was trying to grab at least one of those, but didn't get it. However, again, item not too great. It's the Helm of Valor, which is like, meh. So 1-0's item, like, honestly, damn bad this game.
This game, yes, but guess it makes up for map 1.
Yeah, game 1 was
Yes.
true.
Yeah. So
Happy creeping the natural very early. Something that normally you don't want to do because you're so far in the corner of the map. This camp normally belongs to you anyway, so you want to save it for later. Happy has been quite fond of expansions in Undead Mirror. However, not tier 2, but rather tier 3, around 50 supply. Oh, look at that Lich.
Yeah.
Another claws of attack.
Double claw is just nothing but great. Makes it easier to focus the fiends despite not having a Naga. And it's red spot time. Second one. Going to the Russian this time.
So I imagine Web must be getting upgraded.
Yeah. I mean, apart from that, there's no anti-air except the Lich, so he needs Web. It's a very fast upgrade.
Yeah.
So
With those 2 claws, maybe he can 1v1 the Drake.
without orb
Takes
and
too
a
long,
fountain.
You kind of need
Wait,
Web
he's not-
anyways.
Okay,
so.
there it's finished. Yeah, against 1-0 is going a heavier destroyer style for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we saw no Banshees yet. Seems like...
But
Of course, Banshees are slower units. It's not just about, you know, fighting strength and damage mitigation. All that is also about mobility oftentimes. This is why level 4 DK is a big advantage over only level 3 for the level 2 aura. Happy finds the Zoe Mask. The good items keep on rolling in here for Happy.
yeah, and if you don't know the map too well, the claw that Happy found at the bottom right is a claw +9, so it's really good too. Even better than the claw +6. Parry up on 1-0 side. I don't know what item 1-0 got here at the red spot. 2 red spots going to the Chinese side, who has had a little bit of bad luck so far. They trade laboratories. They're all gearing up for this big fight. Is 1-0 expanding? No, I thought for a second there's a blue dot moving, but it's just me.
Wand of Mana Steel, the next bad item for 1-0. But at least he got the Zoe Mask as well, so that's certainly good. Happy going to the main. I think he's level 3 Lich, so 1 shot, 1 Nova, that kills an Acolyte. TP back, coming in from 1-0. Happy trying to just walk it off.
1-0 is playing a Lich third. It's not out yet. Nova could be
the
good in this
Naga?
defense. Naga indeed. Right clicks, needs the potion.
Oh, she's
can't be
blocked!
coiled.
That's
Oh,
a
can't
wall
go!
off!
Oh no! We've seen the wall off yesterday. The right hand side of the base being open yesterday by 1-0. Now it's blocked and it's also wrong.
Yeah, the Lich is out, and now it's time for Happy to fall back. This was a tremendous assault. A really weird timing. Shortly before tier 3 finishes, normally Undeads always hold back on their side of the map, wait for tier 3, and here we go with the orb, and now we move out. But Happy playing with that usual conception, goes for that weird timing push, and kills, what was that? 2 fiends, and forces the TP, and loses nothing on his own side. And with that play, Happy gets far ahead in this match.
And should be time for the Dark Ranger soon. Still no orb, right? No. Scroll the Beast. That means 1-0 needs a destroyer to dispel it. Otherwise, this Lich is gonna one-man army 1-0.
Yeah, speaking of Lich, 1-0 earlier was able to get good levels on the Lich because of LR. There's plenty of creeps to go around on LR. Concealed, not so much. Lich gets a bit of experience here in the middle. With the Ogre Lord gone, that is a pretty easy camp to take, but now we have very few creeps left remaining indeed. 44 supply only by 1-0, still reeling, still trying to get back to that 50 supply army, whereas Happy, with going for a Dark Ranger, now is in upkeep already.
And the Dark Ranger is just in the late game so much better, especially if she gets to level 2 and beyond for the skeletons. Happy in fighting shape, seemingly. Gets to the shop, I'm not too sure what's available. Looks like an invul. This Lich is so sick.
1-0 seemingly has to go for the Destroyer against the Silence, especially considering that he doesn't have Silence to work with himself. This is always really comfortable to play. You know your coil is never going to be disabled. You're never going to be silenced, so you should always be able to protect your Lich somewhat well. We go into the fight, the Lich for 1-0 in trouble right away, and he just dies. And why? Because of the Silence. The Destroyer Dispel, not quick enough. That Lich on level 1 just way too squishy.
Yeah.
Happy gets the next kill for free.
So dominant. So dominant on this map. Pretty much after the initial harass from the DK at the shop, Happy just grabbed the wheel and went with it.
Yeah. And here we see the Dark Ranger's strength as well. Dark Ranger is a really solid, really good hero on level 1.
Yeah.
Lich, he's not bad, but he's not that good either.
We all know how he rises in strength once he gets level 4.
Once he gets level 4, bro, let me tell you. +4 intelligence, boy.
Yeah, bro.
That gets my trousers real tight.
Happy knows about his advantage going for the expansion now. This is what he loves to do. And how is there any possibility for 1-0 to prevent this? He knows it, but Happy is making sure to build a wall between 1-0's base and his expansion.
Yeah. Happy, such a big XP lead. Would love to see our graph at this point, but don't have that, of course, as we're restreaming. But it must be quite the sizable lead now. DK level 4, getting closer to 5. Lich is level 3 easily. And Dark Ranger must be level 2 in a moment as well. DK for 1-0 still not level 3. And that's actually a big problem. Makes microing these fiends quite a bit harder. Happy in a kind of a weird position. Heroes away from the army, but much bigger army for the Russian. Loses the first fiend, misses the coil, loses the next fiend as well.
Okay, you're
the beast popped in the back.
A little ahead of me, so I take over. Lich levels up, DK down to 50%, focus on fire on the Destroyer. That coil was tight. Nice Nova, oh my god, and that Naga forced into an invul potion, 7-second cooldown. 1-0 losing more fiends, that coil didn't rescue her. Another Nova. 1-0 is losing absolutely everything. And Happy ties up the series. We go full distance in the last remaining quarterfinal.
Which always seems to be the case. If they're both playing seriously, we always go all the way. 1-0 tried with the Naga here again and got the red camp, which was nice. The TP being gone did cost him. He had to rebuy that TP, and that TP back into losing those two fiends, that's most of the time GG already.
Yeah.
On this highest level, you can't really come back from a position like that. But even if that doesn't happen, it feels like with this Lich third play that 1-0 goes for, you really need big maps with lots of creeps so the Lich can catch up. The level 2 Nova is a really, really big deal. So I'm not sure, honestly, that this was the right strat for that map.
All right, we go into Amazonia. 1-0's map choice. Happy has never defeated 1-0 on this map. And you were actually absolutely right. Whenever they play series, it's a full series. Yule Cup 2, 3-2 in favor of Happy. WGL, 3-2 in favor of Happy. The only 2-0 was for Happy in the CC Masters qualifier, but 1-0 there played also a Dreadlord. And yeah, that doesn't really count.
When they met in WGL on AZ, 1-0 won. That was a really interesting game. It seemed like 1-0 had the better mid-game creep route, got slightly ahead with levels and items, and with that slight advantage was able to expand, and then with the econ advantage, finally got the win.
Yeah, it must be Lich second this time, right? Like Naga on AZ. I don't really see
weird.
that. He has never played this before. He has played the Naga on TM and LR, and now for the first time on CH as well, but I mean, it's a small map. You can punish maybe the null camp, but you need to nail that.
Yeah, AZ normally one of the easiest maps for any race and any matchup to creep level 3. And that's kind of what the Naga already doesn't want. The Naga wants to come out on tier 2 and then everyone's low levels, ideally level 1, at max level 2. The enemy hero, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 1-0 is going to move away from that. But I wasn't expecting her on concealed either, so...
But Remo,
we'll see.
Judging yesterday's games, what do you think are the odds for a Fire Lord second? Third.
0.
Third.
All right, 1%. 1%.
Let's go! Amazonia, who is playing Sock in the semifinal tomorrow in the Huya Super League, this $9,000 tournament. Sponsored, obviously, as the name suggests, by Huya. Happy in the bottom left, in the red, fitting for the Russian. Well, it would fit both, actually. And 1-0 in the upper right. In the blue, for Newbie and China.
This is one of those maps where every blue moon we do sometimes see a Lich first, and I would only be expecting this from 1-2-0.
Yeah.
But doesn't look like that's the case. It's a Ted Fiend build, which most certainly should be resulting in a DK.
Thank you, Matt Frog, by the way, for the host. Much appreciated. Glad to see you streaming on the weekends. And supporting us. That would be... Everything but a normal build order would be weird. DK for Happy it is.
Yeah. And the pre-WGL season especially for 1-2-0 was super experimental in this matchup. And I thought he was going to find 1 or 2 builds on some maps at least that he likes to play and then he's going to whip out every now and then. And we did say that against TBCBM, but that's only TBCBM. I wonder... Is he gonna stay as rigid in this matchup against the other top undeads? Well, to be fair, who is their other top undead? It's pretty much just him and Happy.
Yeah.
So against WFZ, I could very well see a Dreadlord or Lich play again, but not against Happy. Both starting off with a DK. It could be a Lightning Shield creep that does slow down the tech, but gives good experience. Happy not going for the Lightning Shield creep. Neither is 1-2-0. And again, Happy is going for the standard creep route, ready to split experience, and 1-2-0 once again harassing, slowing both players down.
Theme of the series so far.
And that kind of looks like a Naga again.
Well, 1-2-0 positioned the Scouting Acolyte at the bottom left, so he knows it
surround. Ah, no, almost.
Oh, the Acolyte block was pretty sweet. You're once again a second ahead of me. But Happy already losing 50% of the DK HP.
Yeah, and losing the creep. Berserker goes over to 1-2-0. Once again, only the cloak. But good experience. Happy really didn't want that Acolyte to see the light of day again. Did Happy have a Scouting Acolyte, by the way?
No, right? I haven't seen it. I don't think he had one.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's quite surprising to me. Because 1-2-0, he does have a wide array of strategies. So big last hits here. If 1-2-0 steals these as well, this is starting to look a little bit dangerous for Happy.
But the Emperor gets it. How is he not taking damage on this DK?
Ooh, that was very close to a surround as well.
Yeah. And the one Trapper is still up.
Yeah, but with the cloak, actually, this DK is pretty safe. Because you can't reveal from the lab, because the creeps are going to wake up, are going to kill the ghoul, and Happy doesn't have a dust yet. So this cloak is actually surprisingly good right now.
Both were trying to go for the coil, 1-2-0 a little too late. Despite the ping advantage for him here. Happy gets it. So 2 out of 3 creeps for the Russian. Of course, the smaller ones. But that was very important to not feed 1-2-0 even further.
This is looking a lot like Naga again. Tier 2 about 40 seconds or so away. And if you don't get level 2 on the DK, so no aura, going up against the Naga is really problematic. I like this play by 1-0 actually. Like on this map, it makes a lot of sense. You can actually prevent creeping really well if your opponent goes out into the middle.
But it's such a gamble, right? You need to rely on your opponent's movement. You need to rely on the damage the Naga does. But Happy is kind of playing into his hand so far.
Also, that first Berserker last hit was a really big deal. Here we go, Naga again.
Wow.
Counter Naga by Happy. What?
Okay, here we go. Oh my. Who's gonna get the last hits here? It's so big. DK of Happy is so low though. With the Frost Arrow. Nice focus fire apostle. Skeleton's advantage for Happy. So 1-0 is the one to retreat.
Happy was, I think, looking there for a skeleton surround or at least a block. So far, no fiends have died, but that may very well change. And yeah, these skeletons do make a big difference. 3 fiends now for Happy and more skeletons. 1-0 needs to be careful. Kind of surprised he's so boldly looking for the trade.
He seems like he feels he has an advantage. We'll see. Happy supply blocked at the moment. Can't go for more fiends, but he's gonna get the damage in. Good focus so far. He's always staying out of range of that Naga. Nothing is really getting slowed. He's the one doing damage.
This is the first time I think I ever see Happy playing Naga second, and I watch a lot of Happy streams. Against Undead, of course, that is. Happy keeps up the pressure.
Ooh, lightning
Thank
shield.
you, Jet Buell with a 6-month resub. Says, more lumber is required. Oh, last hit there with the coil, I think was Happy's.
Yes.
Happy's much closer to level 2. If he kills that rogue dude, he might be there. Ooh. Yep, there we go.
Oh yeah, Fiend got the last hit. Again, you're ahead of me. How do you do that all the time? So now the big lizard. Oh, who got it? Was it Happy? Oh my god, TP by 1-0. He's at like 15 HP, and the Naga is just sniping and he needs a potion. Gets the potion. Oh boy, such a dicey situation. Happy is so oppressive, pushing 1-0 back into his own base, and like he's turning this entire series around. 1-0 in the mid game always was the one putting pressure onto Happy with that Naga, and having this advantage going into the late game with that, and now Happy is the one. No freedom for 1-0 at all.
Yeah, that was so close. Happy saw it was a double-click TP, so he knew where the DK was gonna land.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that was right next to the shop, but it's still a TP forced and a heal pod forced.
Yeah. Thank you, Blade Lord, for the 10-month resub. And Happy now creeping this map up. Does he get the last hit? Yes, he does. Close to the Fork Lightning. Like this, how many creeps did he lose from the save laboratory? 2 or 3? I think 2, right?
Yeah, I think he got the Renegade, but the other 2 went to Happy. But 1-0 had the statues out earlier. With double stat, you have really good sustain and you can take pretty big camps. So 1-0 goes to the top left, hoping finally for a good item. His item, like these last 2 maps, has been pretty abysmal. Happy at the same camp in the bottom right, by the way. These item drops are really big. Auras are a massive deal. And finally something good for 1-0. He gets the Lion Horn for the Devotion Aura. Happy. Sobi Mask again.
Yeah, second map in a row where he will have the mana advantage on the DK. More coils, more units alive or undead, whatever it is.
I think the aura is better though.
Makes focus fire harder, of course, with the 2 armor upgrades. Or +2. I don't know if you out-heal that mitigated damage easier, though. It's
big mana for
both
Happy.
is really good. Yeah. And
that is the nuts.
Yeah. And 1-0. Scroll. Has a timing factor on it. Oh, uses a coil. Okay.
Yeah, scroll, honestly, like, only gets countered by 2 destroyers. Like, 1 destroyer can't even deal with the Scroll of the Beast. Because the AoE dispel isn't big enough. But Happy has shown that he's willing to go destroyers if a need arises, even if no need arises. Pretty even game here.
Yeah,
Happy
so
does
tense.
Happy does have a bit of a lead, but it's not much.
It's gonna be a lot of mana. Invo Potion on the Naga, absolutely necessary. That's why both of them are going for the shops. Red spot for 1-0. There is so many good items. They split this map. Oh, Happy. Expecting an expansion. Okay.
4 Fiends only for 1-0.
It's not much damage, eh?
5 at this point.
50 supply. It's so weird to see an undead mirror and not a single Banshee yet.
Yeah. Alright, big drops from the red camps.
Yeah.
Happy Hood of Cunning. That is one of the worst.
Oh my god, you're once again a second ahead of me. How is that possible? Don't want to spoil anything. So.
Oh.
Dude, I just refreshed. How can you know this? It's impossible. Yeah, that is the best item, pretty much. Or one of the best. Warsong Battle Drums. A free upgrade for 1-0. Happy kind of constantly fighting uphill now.
Oh, Happy still has his own lab creep, by the way, which could be a clause. Level 3 DK versus level 3 DK, level 3 Naga versus level 3 Naga, level 2 Lich versus level 2 Lich.
We have a heal scroll for Happy. Not a big fan of this item in this matchup. Of course, it helps against Nova, and maybe even with the Naga here, it makes sense against Nova and Fork Lightning, but it feels like it's an instant kill anyway. Not much AoE. But Happy with the big mana. Is that the item that carries him to victory? Next to his insane micro, of course.
An Acolyte just went to produce something there by Happy in the back, and it shouldn't be a Ziggurat, so that might finally be the temple the first time this series.
Okay, Happy stealing the next invul at the shop, I guess. And 1-0, not changing it up. It's only Destroyer Fiend statues. In the long run, the Russian army should be the better one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Banshees, though. I haven't seen the building, so might just be a Ziggurat or something. But I think one thing that's really important here is 1-0 is the player with much more Naga experience in this matchup. So he should have the more naturally right reflexes of how to micro this.
Sorry about the lag, ladies and gentlemen. I can't really do anything against it. Trying my best. So here we go. Do you know the upgrades?
No.
For the two armies, okay.
But one big advantage here for Happy is he just got the level 3 Lich, something that 1-0 does not have.
Do have a fight, opening it up with a Nova and Fork Lightning. 1-0 has the healing. Oh, nice call by Happy, saving that Fiend as well. Web on the Destroyer, being focused, fired right away and killed. 5 supply gone. Second web going off. We even have ghouls in the fight to do some damage into the back line, but feels like the Chinese is getting more of this fight. Second Destroyer, that's Growth of Beast being pumped. And as you mentioned, you need the 2 Destroyer Dispel, which is not happening. Now Destroyer, no Dispel. Lich is still producing tons and tons of damage, and it feels like it's only one unit, player who kills units. Now Happy's turning it around at least a little bit. DK a little bit out of position, but the third Destroyer is falling. And more Fiends as well. Oh, the DK though! No TP, 1-0! Losing the first hero, losing the aura. And I'm losing the stream connection. There we go. What a mistake! Can't get the counter kill. Coil on the Naga, not dodged. 7 seconds. Lich with an invul himself. 37 supply for 1-0. And that's the second kill as well. Oh boy, 1-0 was so close to the first win against the Russian. Lich kill, maybe. No, potion used. And the triple kill for Happy. Every single hero dead. Necromancer falls to the Emperor for the 4th time in a row.
It looked like today was about to be the day.
Yeah.
It looked like it finally was gonna happen. But Happy says no. Happy says no after losing map 1. Once again, adjusts really, really well on map 2 with superior scouting and movement. And on map 3, he says, you think you're good with a Naga? Guess what? I'm even better with a Naga.
Even better with the Naga. And I'm playing on 160 millisecond delay, and I still own you. In a mirror match.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. At this point, we shouldn't be surprised anymore, should we? And that means Happy moves to the top 4, meeting tomorrow Sok, which is gonna be so good. That's like possibly the best undead versus human you can assemble in the world. Gonna be our second game after Focus versus Infi. Well, actually, I don't know which one's gonna be first, but we're gonna have both these in the semis, a third place match, and the grand final.
Yeah, this is so hype. As you can see here at Wikipedia, $8,600, 4,300 for the winner. Happy on the way to do it again after CC Masters, winning another Chinese tournament. Online tournament. Focus Infi, happy Sock. You praise Sock so high, I wonder if he can repeat his success from WGL and beat Happy again.
Yeah, exactly. He defeated Happy offline in a best of 3.
Yes.
Not even TH could beat him offline in a series. Across 2 series.
Yes.
Sock is crazy good in this matchup.
We'll see tomorrow. Focus vs. Infi, also a great matchup with a lot of history. This was always the match for Focus where he threw some curveballs and played and showed some new builds and timings. So I wonder if he has something prepared for that. Tomorrow is hype. Like this entire tournament, it's just like 4 days, but games have been nothing but great from the round of 16 on. In case you have missed any of these games, they're all up on YouTube. Also, our talk about the eer0 Pro Tour also up on YouTube. You can check that out. So tomorrow, is it 11 or 10 a.m.?
I'm not sure, and I think they're not sure either, to be honest.
Okay, you can check that out at glhwar3.com. They will provide you with all the news. Gonlan Harbor love for the news that Wong and his buddies always prepare for us. 3,000 viewers at 2 p.m. on a Saturday. This is bonkers. The hype for Warcraft is not stopping, and later today, it's going to be Rising Star Cup number 6. $150 prize pool, points for the finals, and the legend is casting Kaldor for the first time. Casting a Rising Star Cup. You should sign up. You should tune in. Powered by AMD, of course, once more. Gonna be great. 5 p.m. is the starting time. Back to warcraft.com/risingstar is where you sign up. Twitch.tv/Kaldor is where you see the games. And Mr. Remo Demo himself will challenge Happy to prevent the 6-time back-to-back champion.
Yeah. I'm certainly gonna make it to the final. Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's a promise. What do you do if you don't reach the final? Shave your head? Okay. That's the bet I take. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for the great support. Thank you, Tashunka, Witko, and Talwin5 for the subs. We see each other tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in early. And yeah, spread the love for Warcraft. Hype is infectious. So do your part. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.